welcome Night Owls to the Book Club After Dark podcast, an inviting moonlit podcast. I'm your host, Danny.
And I'm Michelle. We break down fantasy, romantasy, and thriller novels, as well as dark romance.
Sometimes, yeah. All things enchanting, intriguing, suspenseful, and maybe a little spicy.
Each episode features intimate discussions on captivating stories, character breakdowns, fan theories, and more. And this is your content warning. This podcast contains mature themes and discussions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Episodes include explicit language and descriptions of mature romance, as well as depictions of violence and other intense subject matter. This podcast is rated R for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Let's get cozy because the best stories are told after dark.
Welcome, Banter and Bookmarks podcast. Lindsay, Kelly, and Catherine. They are three bookish besties diving into romantasy. They're going to escape reality. That's what they do. They're going to the magic, the myths, fierce heroines, epic love, and unhinged theories with a bit of spice. We're really, really excited to have them on because we've actually met these ladies in person. So we're like ecstatic to be able to do this episode with you. So yeah, hey, how's it going?
Hi, guys. We're so happy to be here.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We are
It's
so
gonna be
happy to
super
have you.
fun. Yeah.
Girls' night.
Girls' night. Yeah. Let's do it. That's awesome. Yeah.
We dance a lot,
Welcome.
so
We
You
do
dance a
little
lot?
shoulder
Okay.
And sing.
dance.
Sometimes we sing. You might have to edit out us singing. We
Yeah.
apologize for that
No,
in
that's
advance.
unique
Okay.
to the
I get used to
episode.
it, though.
No.
And you
It
commit to the
stays.
bit. I like it. That's good. Oh, yeah.
we
It's
do
staying.
commit to it, for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
commit to the
Actually, it's
bit.
usually Kelly and I singing and then Catherine going,
again.
Insert eye roll.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Okay, so let's hop into our first question. So can you tell us, how did you all meet?
yeah, so I actually started a neighborhood book club about two and a half years ago. We all live in the same neighborhood together. And so I started a neighborhood book club together and we still meet. We have about like 10, 12 women. Usually I think the full group is 12
Yeah.
if everybody can make it.
Yeah.
Basically. And we read all kinds of books. We've read self-help books. We've read contemporaries. We've read romance, kind of mysteries all over the board.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning of the year, when Onyx Storm came out, we convinced our neighborhood book club to read Onyx Storm. And obviously the three of us were pretty feral about preparing
Of course.
for book club.
It's
and
true.
so we came over to my house like maybe 5 or 6 times and ended up putting together a 37-slide PowerPoint presentation to present Onyx Storm and the theories to our neighborhood book club. And they were like, wow, this is great
Their
for you
faces were-
guys. Yeah, like we love this for
Okay.
you guys. We dressed up, we did the whole thing. But my
Fun.
husband was home at the time because we were coming over to my house to plan. And he was like, you guys are kind of funny. He's like, you should maybe record this. He's like, I literally have no clue what you're talking about with like pairing gods with dragon colors and shit. He's like, but it's still entertaining,
Mhm.
like hearing
Yeah.
you guys talk about it. You should record it. And so we're like,
Yeah. And I
maybe we
looked at-
should.
I
And
looked at Lindsay
we
and I
did.
was like, Lindsay, you have a degree in literature. I have a degree in broadcasting. Like, this would be great. But then we realized that we agree with each other too much on a lot of things. And so we kind of needed like a dissenter. And we were like, Catherine. And so we like, literally texted her and we were like, do you have 5 minutes? We need to come to your house and talk to you about something really
Coming
important.
over.
And Catherine is like
That is a
freaking
lot
out.
nicer than it was.
Yeah,
You were
she was like, what did I do
need
think it was
your
like,
time now.
bitch, we're coming over.
And we showed up and we were just like, we want to do a podcast and we think you need to be a part of it. And she was like, okay. And then
Okay.
we launched in March and here we
Now
are.
we have a
That's
podcast.
awesome.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
So we are
disagree with each
neighbors,
other.
book club members, book besties, everything. We are
All
Yeah.
the things.
together.
things.
Perfect combination.
All the
Yes.
things.
All the things. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
It does make
That's
it very
amazing.
convenient that we live so close to each
Oh,
other.
I
It
bet.
does.
I
Like,
bet.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
There's a
literally,
pop over.
both of them texted me outside of my house
Yes,
at
today.
2 different times.
Going
today.
on walks
They're
with
like,
our dogs and
Whoops.
It's funny.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I mean, that helps with content, right? Because a lot
Hell
of
yeah.
podcasts, they're like
Oh, yeah.
across the country. At least a lot of the ones
Oh,
that
yeah.
we talk to. And you guys can like, you're down
Yeah.
the street and you can just like chat
Yeah.
and be like, I have this
Yeah.
idea and let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like
We do
were
not take that for
filming-
granted.
We were
Mhm.
filming one time and I just came over to Lindsay's and I was like, Lindsay, I have 5 different voice memos. It's going to be about 30 minutes long of me ranting and I need you to listen to it. And she's like, okay, come on over. Let me just hear it. Let's go.
Yep.
So it's really
Yeah.
convenient to live so close.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like really helped y'all as a relationship too, for hopefully for the better. I'm sure you guys have moments.
Yes.
But I'm sure
For
it's a lot of
sure.
fun because it's like it's hard. I think there's so much work to running a podcast, so much more than you
Yeah.
probably think it's going to be at first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to start my own podcast. And it quickly becomes, if you're good and if you're really trying to make something good, a lot of work and time that you put into this. And we can see that you guys do that. And so we're happy to have you on. Can you tell us, like, you told us how you got started as the podcast, but like, where did the idea for the name come from? What do you do on your show? What
That
do
is me.
you how do you do like bits on there? How do you guys plan your episodes and stuff? Like tell us a little bit about that and your process. I
nitty-gritty.
would be very curious to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Kath, you want to talk about the name and I can talk about the
Yeah.
process?
We're just going through random names and nothing was sticking. And so I asked my husband, I was like, we need podcast names. And he's like, okay, give me a minute. And he just sent me back a list of like 15 different
Like
names.
good
that he
words,
came up
yeah.
with. Yeah. And I sent it to the ladies and they were like, oh, I
We
really
banter.
like Banter and Bookmarks. That's good.
Yeah.
That'll be the name of it.
Yeah.
Nice. It's
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah. We were just like, what
Mhm.
words make sense?
I love my English heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
Right.
alliteration.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because Kelly doesn't like calling us the banterers, but Lindsay and I, we like calling each other the banterers.
Not
But
the
Kelly is like, no,
banterers.
we're not.
She doesn't like the
banterers. She don't
banterers.
like it.
Because my
We've
accent,
become-
my yeah.
Mm.
Go ahead, Lindsay. I know what you're gonna
I would
say.
say we've become
Yeah.
like the banter bitches, the banter
I like that.
bunnies, the banter
baddies.
Yeah, like
Someone called us once.
banter baddies,
Yeah.
banter
There you go.
babes. Like we've gone
Hmm.
through.
We're like, we'll take it.
Depending on the group, we're like, all right, whatever.
That's
we can be
fine. We just call
bitches
each
and
other
babes and
wenches.
bunnies, and yeah, we call each other wench a lot.
Wenches,
Hey,
yeah, banter
whatever.
That's a
wenches.
good one.
Right?
I like it.
Whatever.
Haven't heard
yeah.
that in a long time.
I know. Wench.
Oh,
Oh, Lindsay called us
wench
wench
is
every
used
day.
in our.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
on
I
stuff.
use wench all the time.
Yes.
A good
It's a
great
It's a
word.
great
I love
word. You
that
got to start
word.
using it. You got to start using it. Just shout
Feel
us out when you
free.
do it.
Feel free to use it.
Yes.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah,
to
do it.
Mhm.
It's a good
Yep.
one.
In terms of our process, we know each other well enough, I think, now that we know each other's strengths. And so I think we've got a pretty good flow going. We love, like, Lindsay is our like main outliner. Like, we will read book. If we're going to deep dive a book, which I think at this point is our bread and butter, we do like to do like one episode per book once in a while, but we just love to deep dive. All of us, like, we cannot just vibe a book. We have to annotate and we have to be like, what does this mean? And what does this connect to? And so it's a lot of
It's a
fun for us. It is a sickness. I think it's a sickness. I think you all understand that too. And so Lindsay, well, yeah, there you go.
tabs.
Those are the
Example.
annotations. And so Lindsay will like outline everything for us. And the way that we like to do our deep dive is like, we have our intro and then we like give you the summary of whatever chapters that we're going to cover. And then we literally just have like bullet points of like the main theories that we've maybe talked about, but we have a thing like save it for the podcast. So a lot of times it really is very unscripted for us. It's like, here are the major plot points that we know happened. And we kind of just go. And a lot of times, like I said, we will save things that I have a theory about something and I don't even tell these two wenches before. And then we're like grappling with it in the episode. And so we will have sometimes like 4.5 hours worth of a recording that I then need to edit down to like 2. And it's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
But we switch it up, I think, too, depending on the book and what makes sense for the book. And we kind of flow. It's like, what does this book feel like it needs? And how does it make sense to do it? And we like to do a lot of fun planning over wine and cheese when we figure that out.
The best type of
Yeah, I think the
awesome.
hardest
Cheese and
part
bread.
is not talking about it because like we legitimately
Yes.
are. I mean, we're neighbors, we're friends, we
Right.
hang out all the time together, and we can't talk about books to each other when we're live in person, despite the fact that we have a book podcast together because we
Yeah.
have to save our reactions and things like that. So every once in a while we'll have to like catch ourselves and we'll be like, whoa, save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Like we can't talk about that,
Yeah.
you know? So
Interesting.
that is
Mhm.
probably the downside
Yeah.
to having a podcast with your friends and neighbors is that you see each other enough that you have to hold back. And all we want to
Yeah.
do is talk about books, right? But we're like, nope, save it.
Not
don't
this
talk
one.
about it.
If we're deep
That's right.
diving it, like, don't talk about it.
It's to
Mhm.
the point where if we haven't messaged by like 9 a.m., it's like proof of life. Why haven't
Hello?
you
Are you
sent me
okay?
like
Right.
20 texts
Are
already?
you okay? We're not reliant on each other at all.
So the
What
books
if
My
it
I-
is?
husbands
Michelle
are
and I-
totally fine with this.
Michelle and I
books-
talk every day.
Oh yeah.
Multiple
Oh,
times.
yeah.
You have
Every
to.
day.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Multiple times a day, every day.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
know
Well,
that.
like you
We
said,
feel that.
Danny, like I think people don't realize like how much time and effort you put into this. Like I think obviously for us, we knew what starting a podcast would take, but I don't think that we realized how much it would like really engulf our lives when we started doing it. And we love
Valid.
it, but it makes it so
Yeah.
that you have to talk all the time because
Right.
there's always something to talk about and always something to discuss and always something to plan.
Mhm.
And
News popping off.
again,
Right.
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Danny, that's a question back to you because I feel like you all do this really well too. It's like news is dropped, right? Like we've both covered Quicksilver. Brimstone stuff comes out. Like I feel like you all are so good at something came out, like we're gonna react to like how do you first of all, how do you decide on what you're gonna say? Okay, no, we need to prioritize this. Like let's like lift it up and like let's get something on social media. And do you feel the pressure too sometimes of like, oh, we've covered this or this is something on our list, like we've got to react to this or we've got to address this? Like how do you balance that all?
That's a great question. I think some of it is, I think a lot of it is luck, to be honest, is you
Mm.
just see something and it's the right thing that you want to react to. I don't spend a
Yeah.
lot of our time focusing on what we missed because you can't react to everything. It's just
Yeah.
not possible. So there are times where something will come out and be like, I'll just be like, fuck, we missed the boat on that. And it's like,
Mhm.
you can't undo that. And also
Right.
like why we missed the boat because it wasn't for us to respond to for whatever reason, or just somebody else got there first. And that's okay. But I think there is a difference between uniqueness of who is speaking. No one is going to be me. No one is going to be Michelle. No one is going to be
Right.
you guys. So when you go to respond and you have your own following that you've grown and your own base of people who are interested in what you have to say, your uniqueness, regardless of what the news is what sets the response apart.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where, for me anyway, you'll usually see me doing it. Sometimes it'll be
Mhm.
Michelle, but it'll oftentimes be
It's
me
mostly
because
Danny.
we kind of divide and conquer as far
Yeah.
as where our strengths are. And sometimes it'll be Michelle too. It just depends. And it is usually like, my undergrad was in filmmaking for my school. So I went to school for that. And so like and Michelle's
Literature. My undergrad.
is in literature. So
So similar.
she-
There you
yeah.
go.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so we kind of balance each other, right? Exactly. And so like
Yeah.
I will see moments where I'm like, oh, this is going to be big. This is about to be like really interesting. Or, oh, we need to like talk about whatever this is. To your point on everything going on with Faye and Alchemy series and just
Mm.
like the upcoming film and the book drops and just everything that surrounds it. It's like you're just not gonna catch everything. You're not.
Right.
So you do, when the thing catches, that's the moment you have to respond to. It's important to pick which one. And then it's also important equally to lift up others when they do well. And so what I
Yeah.
mean by that is like, I think it's really important to never, like, I don't feel we are ever competing with you. I don't feel we're ever competing with any other podcast.
Right.
Because you and I, the
Yeah.
three of you and us two are very different. We're putting out something
Mhm.
different. We cover different things. And ultimately, like as
Yep.
women in small businesses, we should be supporting each other. And so like if you guys put out
For
something
sure.
and you catch it first, we're going to post it and share it and be like, look
Yeah.
what they found, And I think that's
100%.
something that's like, yeah. And even if it's the same news, maybe we have a different take, and that's fun too.
Right.
And like keep the conversation flowing. But I hope that answers your question. But that's kind of where
Yeah.
that was my thought on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle.
No, I love
I'm
that.
curious
I love
as
that.
you were As you were talking, it kind of made me wonder if it's easier or harder because there's three of us versus two of you guys. Like sometimes, I mean, the good thing about there being more of us is that there's more that we can kind of cover. There's more like individual things that we have interest in. But then the good thing about there being only two of you is that you have less of those things that might
Less
divide you.
cooks.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm sure that there's times where it's easier to be less people and it's easier to be more people and vice versa, like harder to be less people and then harder to be more people.
I think
Yeah.
the easiest thing, I guess, with us being two is just scheduling, because it's just the two of us.
That's probably true.
Oh, true.
And like we're both
Yes.
moms, and so, and you guys understand this too, that if the kiddo's sick or if the husband's sick or if whatever, you had a crazy day at work and you just need to reschedule to like the next day, it allows a lot more flexibility than having like more people. And just scheduling in general just is super hard, especially when you're trying to consistently put out content. I'm sure you guys understand that, and putting out an episode every week is a lot. It's a lot.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I find with
we
our
have two
conversations
calendars for that point.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But I find with our conversations, I don't think we ever really run out of anything, and we don't agree on everything all the time. And then we'll have to like just be like, well, that's that. We'll figure it out. We'll see what actually happens,
Yeah.
like with theories and whatnot. So I don't.
Right.
We always have too much to say, so which makes editing super fun.
That's not a bad thing,
No.
though, when
Yeah.
you have a podcast.
Yeah.
What would
Yeah.
you say is like your favorite part of it? Because I feel like my thing is like I am all theory everything. Like I want to take a paragraph and overanalyze it for like 20 minutes and just talk about like 2 sentences. Like I get such immense joy from just that. But like, what's your favorite part of it?
We're gonna have to cut this, but I will say that you're gonna really be excited for Brimstone then, and I'll leave it at that.
Good.
So I'll let you take this one, Michelle. Go first.
I mean, because my background's in literature, like over analyzing things and, the punctuation, the word usage, why do we have a shift in perspective? Like that's my thing. And yeah, that's probably one of my favorite parts, because it's like, I have this crazy theory and just come along on the ride with me and let's figure it out.
Yeah.
But then also like, me and Danny go way back for, I don't know, like 7 years now. Are we in 7 or 8 years?
Something like that. A while.
And we met on Instagram on like a dog mom group, and now we hang out or we talk
No
all the
way.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Way before
I
the
love
kids.
that.
Huh.
So and just we have just such a great friendship, and that's only grown, and it just continues to grow with the podcast. So those are my 2
love
things.
that.
What
I'm
about you,
not a
Danny?
crier, but if I were, it might make me tear up.
I might
for
cry
me-
right now.
For me, I think what I really love about it, other than the obvious, which is actually spending a lot of time with Michelle and the relationship that we build and building a smart business and just being creative and having a creative outlet that I was missing. I will say that this has filled that void for me in so many ways. But what it's also done is I really love, especially with the books we cover, for lack of a better word, like the human element. I really like talking about how situations make us feel, how reading different scenes make us feel, how we feel about being in them. Let's use Quicksilver, for example. Just everything that, Kingfisher and Saris as characters go through just in book 1. There were so many things that we talked about of like people are very quick in this genre, I feel like, to just like have a quick thing to say about like, oh, it's insta love. And I'm like, y'all, he is 1200, he's like 1800 years old. What do you mean? Like, did you read the same,
1733.
right? Like, did
Thank
we
you. I
read
was
the
about to say
same
Kelly.
book? Like, no. And so we
No.
spent a lot of time talking about how there's so much depth to these characters. It's so fun to talk about them. It's really interesting to me how a lot of these authors spend a very, very large amount of time bringing through those emotions, that depth of feeling. And, we cover dark romance too. And we spend a lot of time talking about that. And I think it's important to have a space where vulnerabilities can be discussed and we can walk through what those things are, because a lot of the romantasy and the genre, most of the stuff we cover, even thrillers, it's dark. There's a lot of dark topics, and it's been really interesting. We started in October of last year, and a lot of the conversations Michelle and I have had, even with guests, it's been such a joy to be in those conversations together and like walk through the depth of who a lot of these characters are. So I've enjoyed that a lot. And of course, obviously author interviews. That's like, I mean, mind blowing for us is like just surreal, mind blowing experience. Very,
Yeah.
it's just, it's awesome. That's
Yeah.
the best part.
Yeah.
And then talking to anybody who listens to the show, like meeting anyone that like knows who we are is still just like
Weirdly surreal.
okay.
Yeah,
like
it's
we're
weird.
just we're
Yeah,
just doing
for
something we
sure.
love to do. It's a great it's
Yeah.
great. I can't it's a lot of work, but we love it. I one day hope and dream that this is what we do, and like it would be great that
Yeah.
that would be the case. I'm definitely
100%.
trying to work towards that. So that's something we're
awesome.
trying to do. Yeah.
Imagine being able to do what you love with people that you care about, like all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
And
be
also
able to, like,
feeling
support
like
your
you're
family.
But feel like you're
Great.
giving something back, because I feel like that's
Yeah.
part of it too, is like the reason we pick the books we do, the topics we cover is like we are intending to be entertainment, and we're intending to provide something fun and a cool place to go, and a place where people feel welcome to talk about, even taboo subjects and topics.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I think that's a huge driver of what we're trying to achieve. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just, talked
Yeah.
forever. So
Yeah.
No, that was
Similar for
great.
us too, though. Like that's kind of why we started our podcast too,
Mhm.
because we're literally neighbors, and we do not take for granted how lucky we are
Yeah.
that we have people so close to us that share such similar interests. And when we started having the conversation, it was, well, listen, there are people that might love these books and have nobody to talk
Yeah.
to with it. And we're lucky enough that the three of us can. Like,
Right.
let's share that with the world. Like, in our intro, we say, like, pour yourself a drink, come escape reality with us, and let's talk about books. Because that's literally what we want everyone to do. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have someone to talk to, come talk to us. Like, come listen to us, because the community is wonderful, and it's supportive, and it's vast.
Yeah.
And we want to share that,
Yeah.
you know?
And like you
Yeah.
said, Danny, I think that like there's always so much going on in people's lives in the world. Like you're a history teacher, like in the world, in just people's personal lives, like every day. I feel like books for us and the books that we read, just like what you're saying, they're a way for us to get away from that. And also to maybe approach those maybe heavier subjects or heavier feelings in a way that maybe for some people feels more approachable, right? Like how it's kind of therapy in a lot of ways to be able to read these books and see either things that you're dealing with or things that you like, emotions that you understand in the books that you read, and to be able to read them and then talk to friends about them and hear other people like talk through those things, to me is very therapeutic. And so I think it makes the community and this whole thing that all five of us are doing that much more special.
Yeah, I think you said something, Danny, about how you like the idea of having like this escape with a group of friends. And I immediately thought of Kelly, because I'm like, she uses us to escape all the time. Like we
I
are
do.
her little friends that she comes to.
I
And
do.
it makes us feel like so honored that Kelly is like, I need you guys more in my life.
Yes.
Let's find a day. Let's just actually talk about books. We're not
Yes.
even put it
Like,
on
please.
the podcast. We're just gonna hang out.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of what it becomes. Like you just, to an unhealthy extent, we have become codependent on each other, but we have the best.
So
fucking
healthy.
time.
So I'm the most healthy I've ever been in my life.
So healthy.
Yeah. Well, and like events, right? So like we were talking about like people meeting us, but just like going to an event, and I'll be honest, we go to events all the time where we're at the event and like maybe nobody knows who we are, and that's
Yeah.
great. That's a great thing, because then we can actually like get to know them without any of the pretext of the show and just talk and be ourselves, and it's a lot of fun. And I feel like those are like the relationships that are built on the show's back, so to speak. And you kind of get to meet other people, have those conversations. And like honestly, Michelle and I are both introverts, which surprises most people, but truly they're sharing an interest. Like they already read the book, and that's so fun. You know, you
Right.
go to an event that you're doing over a book and like you already have a common ground right out of the gate. You don't have to do all the legwork to go figure anything. You already know that you both love something. And I feel like with books in particular, that common ground is a lot more intimate than, you know, oh, I play tennis or something. Like, not to say that you can't be like really close friends with someone who plays tennis, but I just mean like if you love a book series and you love these characters, there's something else, like there's a layer to that. I feel like that is more like emotional. And so automatically having that shared kind of bookish love is like a different bridge. And so it's really fun to meet other people who are already like, oh my God, I loved whatever the thing is, you know, and it's a good time.
100%.
Okay, so let's get into our next question. Why did you choose the Fan Alchemy series to cover on your podcast? What
I want
specifically
to
stood
say
out for
this
you?
because I have the best answer for this.
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Yes.
Is it because it's
I
this
am
big?
at I am at our pool, our neighborhood.
Are we measuring?
pool. No. And Kelly runs up to me and
Ran.
she's literally just screaming, you have to read this book. You have to read this book. You have to read this book. And this is literally the summer before
2
we
years
even
ago.
thought about doing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
podcast. She was saying, you have to read Quicksilver. You have to read
It was indie
Quicksilver.
published. It was like
Yep.
not, yeah.
She was like,
Wow.
I
Kelly, you and I were doing
a
a buddy read.
Yeah. I was like, I saw this book
Yeah.
on TikTok and I feel like we need to read it. And so I like forced Lindsay to read it with me. And then I was like, Catherine, you need to read this book. Like, I'm going to watch you while you read this book, basically. And then when we
They
decided,
literally did. They
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
they did.
and then when we
Peek through
decided we
your
were going to start the
windows.
podcast, we were like, what should we start with? And we had all read Quicksilver and loved it so much. And at that point had already read it twice each before we even thought of the idea of Banter and Bookmarks. And so we were like, well, that makes sense because we love it. We have so much to say about it. And to be honest, at the time it was indie published and it didn't
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
announcement that it was going to go trad until we were like halfway through recording our episodes, which was so
Yep.
cool. And so
Yeah.
for us, we were like, oh, what a cool opportunity. Like, we love to support indie authors and help push the part of the thing that we love so much is meeting authors, like you said. And like,
Yes.
there's something special about those indie authors who are like, oh man, if like just the right people like get their eyes on this, like this could be so special. And so for us, it was just like something about this feels special. And clearly it was because Callie Hart is freaking killing it. And it's just become a sensation and it's so well deserved. So it was just like,
Yeah.
I was feral about this book and was like, no, it needs to be this.
There are very
Yeah,
many
Michelle,
reasons to be
you made the
feral
joke like that we were. Yeah. Michelle, you made the joke that we were peeping through the window, but literally we
Yes,
wouldn't let
I'm
her
sure.
read the last like few chapters of the book.
We were at her
made-
house.
We went to her house and we're like, okay, don't start reading until we come over. And we sat on the couch and watched her. We should have recorded it.
I
Now
know.
we know better because we have a podcast now, but this was before we had a
Yeah.
podcast and recorded
course.
everything. But we made her read it in front of us because we wanted to see her
Yeah.
reaction.
Mhm.
You know, so
I'm
Oh,
going to
that's
live
funny.
vicariously through you because I can't reread this again for the first time.
the first
so I
time,
need
it's
to
just
see
so
your
special.
emotions.
Yeah.
It's just so special.
And she's
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What made you pick Fey and Alchemy?
Was that a
wanna
you pick? That was
first
a you
comment
pick,
on
right?
the fact. Of course, it
Yeah.
was mine because I read everything first. I'm that friend. I like am the speed reader, and then I'll be like,
Yeah.
Michelle, you need to read this, or I'll be like, no, there's essay in the first sexual assault in the first 3 chapters. This is a no for you. Michelle has a hard line with that, so it's like everyone has their
Yeah.
like limits, and so I'll usually
Yeah.
tell her. Or and not to say that Michelle doesn't read any of that because obviously a lot of the books we do have that in it, but I'm like, I know,
You know
her
her
so
well
well
enough.
at this point where I'm just
know
like,
which one she can do.
she would
Yeah.
love this, or this is a no, you know, like,
Yep.
so like because I'm always like reading, I have a list like in front of me. You know, I've like the Guild series, for example, I just fucking flew through that thing so fast. But anyway,
God tier.
Quicksilver.
Yep.
So the one that really got us was actually we had our own book club that basically, the long story short, had trouble consistently meeting at a certain point. We had been in a book club for like 2 years that Michelle and I both ran, and we do have differing of opinions in books, and so like while we get along friendship-wise very well, and we're very business-minded together, we often are like we agree on books, but we also have like good conversation, like healthy debate on like what we think.
Yeah.
But anyways, the reason for Fan Alchemy is I was reading Quicksilver, and I was like, this is going to be our next book, and because we had already covered The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And that was the series, The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, Crowns of Nyaxis series, incomplete series. If you haven't read it yet, what are you doing with your life? Is so good that we were like, we need to do this book. Like this series was, near and dear. And Chris is pretty big, but she's not massively huge. She still needs I feel like her series just hasn't blown up the way that it should, even now, in my opinion. But I digress. So we started there, but then as we were reading that, Michelle was like, should I read? I'm like, what do you mean? Yes, you're reading Quicksilver. That's the next book that you're going to read. We're reading that. That's what we're reading. And I can be a little pushy. I think Michelle can attest to this.
Yes.
I can be like a little bit pushy.
But she knows my taste
Michelle's
so
like,
well.
yes.
Yes. It's just yes.
But that's so great that you're like, oh no, she knows me well enough that if she says I'm gonna love it, we've gotten to that point too. I love that you have that.
Yeah,
Which one
it's
of
great
you
because
are
it's like she doesn't waste her time.
No, exactly. Which one of you are the quick readers in the group?
Lindsay
Okay.
is the fastest. Yeah.
Yeah. Kelly also said Lindsay.
Lindsay.
What's the media?
fastest.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you? How do you? Are you audiobook girly? Do you a Kindle girly? How are we ebook rather? Like how are we reading fast? Like or do you physical book? Like what's your thing?
You just do that
All
continuous scroll.
of them?
Also, is
Oh,
one
wow.
reason
Yeah,
why
all
you
of
just
them.
go through it.
Yeah,
go through it.
I always am listening to something on audio because I usually like when I'm in the car, I listen to audiobook. When I'm getting ready in the morning, like doing my hair and my makeup, I put an audiobook on. And so I do audiobooks a lot. Like whenever I'm like vacuuming, I put an audiobook on. And then I kind of go back and forth between Kindle and physical. Like I'm the type of psycho person that I can be listening to something, have a physical book and have a Kindle book all at the same time and like somehow keep them straight in my mind. So it's all of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm reading.
I've
4 books right
considered
now,
getting an
so-
upstairs. Yeah, like
the
I've
problem.
considered getting an upstairs Kindle and a downstairs Kindle, so that way
Girl.
I could just have. Yeah. Which
That's hysterical.
Christmas present.
yeah. But also like having your Kindle on your phone, if you haven't discovered the continuous scroll on your Kindle on your
Speeds
phone,
everything up.
it speeds
does.
my Kindle reading up so much to be able to continue a scroll and not have to wait for the page animation. It doesn't
don't
work
know
on the actual
why.
Kindle, but
I don't know why that psychologically
Mhm.
speeds up my reading as well. Like, because Lindsay
Yeah.
is the one that introduced me to it. And I'm like, why am I going faster?
It makes a
This
big
sh-
difference.
yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Kelly is
Hold
probably.
on. I'm getting a drink delivered to me. Hold on.
Ooh,
Oh,
bartender.
Husband.
Hello.
This happens a lot. It's great. Sometimes
What
he'll
do we
even
have?
sing a song
Her.
while he does it. It's great for her. Yeah.
What is it?
her.
I don't know.
Paloma.
A paloma. Yeah.
A paloma.
What is that like?
Delicious.
Mm.
I have never had that
Can we just bring
experience.
that here?
Okay.
That's
To get a drink
amazing.
or a paloma?
No, to get a drink.
you've never-
What are we
Oh.
doing to get that? No, I've never like been sitting and my
Yeah.
husband just brings me a
Come
beverage.
here.
I
Oh,
need
right.
to
It's the
understand
best
how
thing.
we get there. What
Oh.
training
It's the
am I
best
not
thing.
doing correctly?
No,
Yeah.
he's
He's a
he
good
does that
one.
to everyone. He's a bartender guy. Also, if you do see me put myself on mute, it's because he has come into the room. So don't worry if I've muted myself.
Yeah.
He's turning
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the heater
He-
for now too, because I record in the garage and it's kind of cold in here. Is this cold in Georgia right now?
No.
And so he
we're
just turned
getting
on
the
heater
We're getting a
cold
cold
front.
snap.
too.
Yeah, that just went
Yeah.
through you guys. We're
Mhm.
getting the cold front.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
Free is going to be so cold tonight.
And I
But
go on
yeah.
a cruise
No,
tomorrow.
he will deliver.
So come on.
Ooh. Come
yeah,
on.
but it's gonna be cold. I feel like. We're gonna
when
have to
by the
just
time
have a
you're in the
few drinks
Bahamas,
and-
it's not going to be cold.
Yeah.
You're
That's
too
true.
close to the
Drink
equator.
it.
You're
Drink
fine.
an extra tequila. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Warm you
So,
right up.
okay, so Danny, I have a question for you because something you said earlier made me think about it. Like, since we have started a podcast, I have felt immense pressure on deciding what to read next. Like, not just to
Yeah.
cover specifically on the pod, but just reading in general, like there's so much out there, and there's this feeling that everybody's expecting you to read the most popular and react to it, but then also have read the big series. Like, do you guys feel that pressure?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I know it's directed at me. I'll let Michelle
Yeah.
go first because I feel like we both will have a similar response. So I'm curious what she's going to say.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's always the pressure to cover the core four. If you're not covering ACOTAR, what are you doing? Especially since a lot of it, with at least covering for the podcast, you're fighting with an algorithm. And if it's not something popular, then it makes it more difficult to be seen, even though those books are phenomenal also. But there are things that we know that we cover that may not be as popular, that we know it's something that we just want to talk about. So like our thriller novels, for example, they're not as popular of a genre in terms of like social media presence, but that's something that we love. So
Yeah.
in terms of what we choose, yes, we try to stay ahead of, maybe if we're starting a series, there's a new release, we'll start the series, we'll plan like how the series turns out right before the release date. But then we'll also cover things that we enjoy, because I feel like if we're constantly chasing the algorithm or what's popular, we're going to lose ourselves in the noise. And that's not what we want to do. So what about you,
I would
Deanie?
agree with that. I kind of echo what Michelle said. And I think too, you do yourself a disservice that way. Not to say that we didn't love everything by Sarah J. Maas. We do.
Of
We
course.
loved all of her books. I've read all of it. I've read the whole thing. But there is already so much of that content out there. And there are so many more deserving books and things to read. We cannot read them all. The fact remains. And to have the pressure from so many, we get inquiries every day. We get inquiries literally every day, multiple times a day of folks that want us to read their book. And to say that we're honored is truly an understatement. The fact that another author has found us and wants us to cover their book is the biggest honor. They've done all the work. You know, we're kind of the critic. That's an easy job in comparison to being the author. So for them to reach out and take a chance on us or ship us a book, or, hey, can you open our book so, you know, you can talk about it? I mean, those types of things are a privilege. But the fact remains, we are only two people. There's only so much that we can read. There's only so many things that we can pick. There's only so much time that we can really truly give something that we want to give time to. And the fact remains too, I think it's just like we have to really love it. And
Yes.
that there can be no sacrifice in that, because I think when you start to want to choose something because it's popular, not because you love it, you lose a little bit, I don't want to say credibility, but almost that, because it's like you're giving up, you're not putting in something that you love, you're putting in something because the algorithm likes it. And I don't think we ever want to do that. And not to say that we don't love Sarah J. Maas, we do. But we would never choose a book unless we loved the book. Facts. Like that's not gonna happen. Ever gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because
What
like,
about like
it
beyond the
takes
pod?
hours to plan these episodes though. Like, and you would know that with like the planning, the the scripts and everything. And if you're not like too super into the book, then your script and your analysis isn't going to be as in depth. You're not going to have theories because you're like, I don't care. So I'm sorry, I cut you off, Lindsay.
No, I was just gonna say, like, do you feel the same thing about things that you're not gonna cover too? Like just your personal reading? Do you feel like you have to keep up with what's popular? Or are you still kind of just reading whatever you want to?
I think I'll take this one, Michelle, first, and then you go. I think that there are certain books or things I read where I really liked it, but it wasn't it. And I don't know how else to explain it other than that. Like sometimes I read a book and I'm like, this is just like, it has to be something Michelle and I will both love. And that's a difficult thing to achieve. It has to be 4.5 star or above usually for us to really give it a shot. And that's a tall order. We read a lot of books. I don't want to cover something that I don't want to keep talking about. And the fact remains that especially when we do a deep dive or do interviews with other people about these books, like it has to be something we love to talk about. Otherwise, what are we doing? I mean, this podcast, this show is above and beyond our families. It's above and beyond our we work full time, and to the idea of me or asking Michelle even for both of us to spend time and talk about something that we didn't love, to me is silly. The reason we're
Yeah.
here is because we love to do this. So if it's not something we love to read, I'm a happy DNFer. I will DNF the shit out of a book. If I will not finish it. Michelle, I don't know. She likes to finish. She likes to be like, I've finished
Yeah.
this book. I will be like,
there are
I
a
hate
few
this, but I'm
books.
done here. Like,
There are only a few
Well,
books
I
I've
respect you
DNF'd.
for that. I am the same. I
No, I will
feel
DNF.
like I'm being mean, but then Lindsay is like, Catherine, life is too short not to DNF a book.
Life's
and I'm
too
like,
short.
But I feel like I'm insulting them.
Well,
if I
No.
don't
But like,
finish
what if
it?
it gets better and I just missed a
Yes.
huge part of it? So, and I don't know.
Yep.
For the most part,
I don't want to hurt the inanimate object's feelings.
it's not your fault.
I know. And we read books all the time that we were just talking about a book a couple weeks ago that we were like, for me, it was a 3. It was, I liked things about it. I didn't like other things about it, but I understand how there are going to be specific people who are going to absolutely love this book. And that's what
Mhm.
makes this fun for me. It's like, we read so many books that we don't talk about because we
Yeah.
deep dive most of the time. And so for me to pick a book that I'm just going to read for fun, like, we know what we like at this point, which is like, someone in our book club asked me, like, how do you read all these like 4 and 5-star books? And it's like, well, because I really know what I like now. Like, if I'm,
Yeah.
like you said, like, Danny, I'm a DNFer too. If I'm 50 pages in and I'm not like, oh, this is 4 or 5 stars for me, what am I doing? Because there are so many books I want to read because I genuinely enjoy reading these books.
Yeah.
And it is how I relax. I don't watch TV anymore. I used to be a huge like movies, shows, like everything. I
Yeah,
barely
what's
watch a
that?
show because books is what I love. And so, yeah, I'm a hard DNFer. Hard.
I think
love it.
so. If
Air
I
5.
was a DNFer, I wouldn't have like continued reading the Guild series, to be honest, because Danny like went through it
Fair.
and she's like,
But
just
I
go.
gave
you
you
have
that
to. Yes,
info.
she told me.
Yeah,
I did
true.
give you that.
to bear with the book, and if I didn't
Yeah.
get that,
That one
would've
I
been
get.
What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on? What are the ribbons? Like
Also
what?
get-
I'm so confused right now. And
That's
yeah.
so funny.
So
Yeah,
to be
book one is
fair,
tough. Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
a little
Yes.
bit, you have to go on
Very.
the ride.
I know. I always laugh when people say that. Someone, I feel like, I think it was Books by Brit who posted this like literally today. And it was like, oh, when everyone tells you got to push through book 1, but I'm over here and I was obsessed with book 1 and it's Guild, ACOTAR, and Throne of Glass. And it's like,
Yeah.
actually, that's me too, because I also loved the first book of
Yeah.
each of those series. And I'm like,
No.
yeah, I got to push
No.
through it, but I loved them. I loved Guild. But I get that it's hard. It's a hard
I loved
push
Guild,
for
but
some
it
I
is
love
people.
book
not
one of
an easy
ACOTAR,
read.
and
Yeah.
Danny was laughing at me.
No.
Oh no, I needed
Huh?
Lindsay to tell me to keep reading for ACOTAR because
Yeah.
I literally ranted to her of everything I could not
I loved
stand,
it.
and she's like, "I love how much you are going to love book 2, so keep going."
Yeah.
And it's only because Lindsay told me to.
That's why we need. That's
I
why we
loved
need book
one of
So
friends.
you're gonna say anything.
ACOTAR. Right, that's exactly it. But I loved it, and then I was like, because like my husband's a blonde, and I was like, talking about Tamlin, and she's like internally
Oh, yeah.
laughing at me the whole time, which is really funny, and it kind of just shows that our differences in our perspectives. Because I was like, I'm like very much a redemption arc girly, so we'll see it.
Yeah.
But she's not, and then, but that's where it like spawned from because I really enjoyed the first book for ACOTAR, and then it then it just takes you on a journey.
I just had my first 5-star second chance because I don't actually read second chance. And the only
You hate
reason
them.
I read the second chance is because it was part of a series, which was Nevessa Allen's Caught Up. It was my only 5-star second chance that I've ever read because I just don't.
love Nevessa Allen.
Yeah,
Love
that
her so
that book
much.
for me, I thought she just was at her level after Lights Out. Like I just felt like her really going there with all those tropes and all the themes, and that she went in hard with it, and like I thought she did a great job, and I thought it was fun. I read it really fast and I liked them, and I was like, I hate second chance. How am I here? Like, what's going on? And Michelle picked it up
Okay.
immediately. She's like, you like redemption arcs. was like,
okay, Danny, I
this
need
is a
your
one-time
help with
exception.
something then here. So I have not read the second one yet, and I'm going to sound like such a bitch right now. So please, everybody, forgive me for being this way.
Sit.
I
Okay.
loved Lights Out. Like, absolutely loved it.
All right.
I have been hesitant to read the second one because the MMC is supposed to be really, really short. And I don't
he's
like
really
that.
short.
He's 5'10". He's like
Yeah,
he's
thought
like
you-
average
in
man.
Lights Out,
He's not
they
like
said-
6'4".
Yeah.
Oh no. I thought from Lights Out they said she said he's
5'10".
5'6", and I was like 5'6". I'm
No,
not
he's
gonna read
5'10".
an MMC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I
Kath, you got to
remembered
read it
reading
now.
that.
Come on.
That's
Now I
why
can read
you
it.
didn't read it.
I could,
Sole reason.
I've read.
We don't
I
even
read
see
another
him
book.
like in the
Yeah.
book. You see him
You're
in
just
your
so
head.
So
used
my
to,
my
like,
giving
the
him a
6
was
foot
not
couple
gonna
more.
go there.
Like,
Yeah, make him whatever
but
size you want him to
that
be.
was a legit thing because I had read
mean-
another book once, and I think it was because the author leaned into everything about a short person, and I was like, can we stop talking about it constantly? And I guess I had this like assumption
Short
that was
king.
just going to be
Short
like
king. Kath is not a
constantly
short king
talked
guy.
about because
guess
he's like
not.
this mafia dude, and we're just going to talk about short king the whole time because I swear I thought they said he was 5'6", so 5'10" is totally acceptable. Now
She's
I'm gonna
in.
read it, and I'm really excited.
She's
I'm
in.
so
Just
excited now.
slightly
That's-
above the
that has
average
just made
man.
my entire night. I am so
I'm
excited to read that
dying
we're
right
second
here
now.
for you.
Book Club After Dark
Catherine.
just convinced Catherine. You heard it here first.
I'm so
Go read
excited.
book
I'm
two.
gonna go read it like tonight
Oh my
after we
God.
finish.
Oh,
I will
it's
tell
And I
you.
have
fun
other
ride.
books I need to read.
It's a fun
but I'm
ride.
going
I-
to read it.
I will tell you, Catherine, it is not Lights Out. Let me
No,
just
do not
preface this by
expect
saying
anything
that. Do
from
not
Lights
go
Out.
into it expecting a Josh. Do not expect Lights
No,
Out.
that's
Just
fair. But
letting
I've
you
read
know.
a couple of her books, and I like. She can do a different character and still like suck me into that character,
Oh,
even
for
if they're
sure.
completely separate and distinct from like maybe like a Josh type of character. Because I don't know what it is about her, but all of her books just they grab me, and so I'm now excited that I can stop being a bitch and read the second one.
We need to know your review following this experience.
Deal.
So please
Deal.
update us. Bring it back. Yes.
No short kings for you.
I'm dying
I
right
just-
now.
No,
Oh
now
my
you know.
God.
Oh, you want
Catherine's
to know
And
the
pet
she
other
peeve.
also
one?
hates.
You want to know?
She also hates
Yes,
a blonde. I know she's about to say it. Michelle, when
Yes,
you
a
said that, I was
blonde
like, Catherine is about
MMC.
to get on a soapbox here.
Well,
she
now-
hates a blonde MMC.
Well, now I know blonde MMCs mean that they are going to be the bad guys ultimately at one point.
Yes.
Like in terms of like
Like-
the trope writing, yeah. Now I know, I'm
Totally
like, okay, if
agree.
I see a blonde, like, all right, there's something wrong with
But
them. Now it's the
I
dark
agree,
haired.
and it's the author's fault because they write them that way. Like
Mhm.
I would say that most authors lean into that almost trope on a blonde MMC, where a black-haired MMC gets like all this depth, and I'll even throw in like ice blonde MMCs are the exact same as like a black hair MMC. Like they get all of the depth, they get everything like that, but the normal dirty hair blonde is just always written as meh. And so I go into it like judging it, and I will send Lindsay constantly memes about blonde hair MMCs because I know it annoys her so much, and I just love it.
Literally.
blondes are great. Even though
Great.
I say that, my
Blonde
husband
FMCs
is
are fantastic.
black
I have no problem with the
hair, yeah.
FMCs.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
We got to meet you guys at Romantasy BookCon. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys got involved with Romantasy BookCon? What your experience was like? You guys did your panels. Like, what are you doing it next year? What kind of give us some information there?
Yeah.
Ellie, you wanna take
So I can, yeah, sure. I can start that. So we became friends with Natalie and Sarah through having them on our podcast, actually, just because we were so interested in talking about. So we bought tickets to Romantasy BookCon before we even started our podcast, just because we were like, this sounds like so much fun. Like we had heard good things about it online. We were like, let's go. And as we were like looking up things about the con, the questions that we had. So Lindsay and I both have backgrounds in different types of, but events. And so some of the questions that we in our heads, it was like, oh, I wish we could, like, what does this look like? And what is that? And what is this experience like? we weren't finding that information online, and we were like, well, what if we just reach out? And so we reached out, and we ended up doing episodes with them. And so that was just how we started there. And yeah, getting to do the panels was so much fun. I think for us, like, the authors are the reason why we love this community so much. Like, the authors and the readers are just so much fun to meet. And so I think for us, it was just like an honor to get to read books by these authors, get to come up with questions for them that we were hoping were beyond the surface level, which I'm sure that you all interview authors all the time. Like, it is so fun to be able to say, oh, I want to really pick their brain about this thing that really spoke to me.
Yeah.
And so that just felt really special. And that experience was a ton of fun. Can't say for sure now about what the future holds. We might have some fun announcements coming soon, but
Ooh.
TBD.
Need any help?
Yeah.
Our friends are your friends and vice versa.
Yeah. So it was a great time. They're just really fun. And I think we just felt lucky to be a part of it. And like I said, we just bought tickets for the event. We're like, we just want to go and experience it. And for most of the con, we were there as attendees. Like, we did get asked to do some panels, which was so fun. And then when our panels were done, we were like full on nerding out, going to all the booths, spending all of
Yeah.
our money on the bookish merch, buying matching PJs, like, doing all the things that the attendees get to do and experience. So it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I would agree with Kelly. I think we just got such immense joy from how many authors we just got to talk to. It was probably the most fulfilling part of it. Yeah, like, we would have people that would come up and talk to us, and that was completely humbling experience because we want to do something that is going to bring them joy, right? But I think from like a personal perspective, all of us just were like fangirling on so many of these authors.
Hardcore.
And they were all just so sweet. I think that was the biggest takeaway I have of the entire event was just how absolutely kind and supportive everybody was throughout the entire event. Everybody's just having a good time. We're there to talk about our love of books. And you just felt that the entire time you were there. There was no negative anything.
No.
We were all having a fantastic
Positive energy.
weekend. And I don't think that event could have been run any better than it was. I think everybody was having just such a great time.
Yeah, it was awesome. So you both have talked about how you cover a few different genres on your podcast, and thrillers being one of them. You also mentioned dark romance earlier. So what are your favorite genres? One, to read, two, to cover, and then also, I might have a dark romance rec for you. It's Danny, Michelle. I have to think through it if you're going to like it.
Michelle,
I don't know.
wait for Danny.
Yeah,
Okay, wait for
okay,
Danny.
Sounds good.
But I have a rec for you guys. But go, yeah. Would love to know a little bit more about your genres and what you love.
Michelle, let you take it first.
Okay. As far as covering, I think romantasy is still like my top tier favorite just because there's so much to go in depth about.
Yeah.
So, there's character development, there's world building, there's the map, there's, theories, there's, you have this series and you get to really immerse yourself into this world. So that will always be my favorite to cover.
Yeah.
But we still enjoy thrillers and dark romance, and we just cover it at such a different level because those are more like one book an episode. We're kind of, talking about how like we enjoyed it and what parts we enjoyed it, and it's more of like a vibe type thing, and instead of like deep diving theories. So yeah. What about you, Danny?
Yeah, I would agree. I think I honestly like I read like 3 or 4 books at a time. So because of that, I actually read like all of those genres all the time. So I'll read high fantasy.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm reading Mistborn, and I'm also reading a dark romance, and I'm also reading a thriller, and I'm also in a reread of a romantasy book. So I
There you
feel
go.
like I pick and choose. I'm a mood reader. If I'm in a vibe, I have to feel like I want to read that. But I will
Yes.
tell you this: I am a true night owl. Like we start our show with welcome night owls, and that couldn't be more true for Michelle and I. Like I am up late. I read late. I can function on like 4 hours of sleep. I am the classic person who's up till 2, 3 in the morning. If I love a good book, I will read
Yeah.
that book. I will fall asleep with my Kindle, pass out, and it's next to me. I've had that happen so many times. But I think to answer your question, I think I kind of echo Michelle perfectly, where it is really fun to. Thrillers are really fun because if I didn't know what the fuck was happening the whole book and then that freaking the twist got me, that is so fun to talk about. So fun.
Yeah.
And because it's only like in the one episode, we're not going to cover it again. So it's like we get through that story, like we tell the story and then we're getting to the twist and like, did it get you, Michelle? And like, it's just fun to talk about that. And then I think too, with Romantasy, like it's never not going to be fun talking about theories. It's never not going to be fun talking about all these different fictional men. It's never not going to be fun talking about like all of it. Like it's just fun,
Yeah.
So like, of course, I agree. I echo pretty much what she said and just add a little oomph to it. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Hockey,
Mafia.
mafia, dark romance. I have all of my palette cleansers for anything fantasy because I will get into a fantasy slump, and we've all kind of realized that our slumps always happen right after we finish a deep dive because we were just so committed to that book. And I won't do another fantasy justice if I immediately barrel into it because I'm going to have such high expectations.
Yep.
I need my hockey, mafia, dark romance palette cleansers, and I will.
That's why we cover
go
multiple
through,
books.
5 of them,
like multiple
all
genres.
back to back.
Yeah.
And then ready to go into that next Romantasy book, and I'm like, I am solid. I'm ready to give this one justice, but I need my palette cleansers.
Right. And like sometimes with the fantasies, they overlap, like in terms of like, what god is this? What world are we actually in? So you need that so you don't confuse the world and the characters and which fae, which one has wings,
100%.
which doesn't,
Are dragons in this one?
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I
think
do
that's
tend
why I
to
like
stick in.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Danny.
I was just going to say, I think that's why I like the dark romance and the thrillers as a switch to romantasy is like, there's still dark academia and dark romantasy, but like if you really truly go into those other two genres, you're in the real world. And so like that takes you out of all that other stuff. And not to say I don't love it, I do, but the brain can only handle so much with on top of all the other things that we do in life. And so I think having that palette cleanser, like you said, Catherine, is like that's exactly why we don't stick to one genre that we cover. And our book club After Dark, meaning like After Dark in terms of like we cover a bunch of dark shit. It's not just going to be like one type of dark thing. We're going to cover a lot of dark things. So
Yeah.
but you were saying, Lindsay, what do you got to say? Come on, girl, tell us. You got a palette cleanser? What are we doing over there?
Yeah, I really like contemporary romance as a palette cleanser. I like just the cheesy, meet cute kind of stuff. But I'm also, we talk to a lot of people that say that they were readers as a younger person and then fell in love with reading again. I've always been a reader. Reading has always been a big part of my life. And I'm like an old school fantasy, old school sci-fi reader. And so I really love the like 60s, 70s era, like 60s fantasy, 70s sci-fi kind of stuff. So I like a lot of those like older series kind of thing. Yeah. I was actually just thinking about this like today or yesterday that I think it's interesting that we've seen such a big romantasy shift in books in general, but I'm kind of surprised that no one has done rose sci-fi. That I feel like we could workshop that and come up with a better name, but like science fiction written for a more modern audience with romance. I'm kind of surprised. Like there's maybe Ruby Dixon.
Yeah, that's monster romance.
Yeah. But
Danny
loves
Ruby
I'm
Dixon.
kind of surprised that it hasn't.
I do.
I also love Ruby Dixon.
I love
yes.
her so much.
But I would love to see someone kind of lean into the science fiction genre, but with romance
Yeah.
heavy themes.
Not
There's
just
some
So if
out
anybody
there.
has any
Aryan reverse
recommendations,
harem
yeah.
or something like
I do
that,
have a-
which is
I have
what
a
all
couple
the
Right.
sci-fi
recommendations.
does.
But I also
Okay,
yeah,
I would
and I also
love
think too.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get you some, but I think I love sci-fi, and I really love, like, I'm really excited. Like, you'll see sometimes we'll post things about, there's a guy who, Andy Weir's book, whose movie's
yeah.
coming out in March.
Cannot
covering-
wait.
Project Hail
We're
Mary.
covering it.
Yep.
Project Hail
Project Hail
Mary
Mary.
is
Yep.
5-star
Phenomenal.
all
Yeah.
the way. Phenomenal
Yep.
book. Loved
But with the
it.
audiobook combo.
Audiobook. This was the one where I actually read it for the first time with my husband in an audiobook, and shout out to, I can't remember his name right now. Phenomenal audiobook. It's the one where I literally was yelling at Kelly, you are
Screamed
not
at me.
allowed to read it. You
Yeah.
audiobook
Same.
it or nothing, because it would be such a disservice if you don't. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that book.
Me, who
Infinity
read it on a
Stars.
Kindle and has not listened to the audiobook. Noted, Catherine.
Oh, go
Danny.
do it right now.
Yes.
It will change your life. You will
It's so
you will
good.
suffer so much with expectations on audiobooks after you read
Yes.
this, because he was so phenomenal.
Yes.
His
Wow.
dry humor is hysterical, and just listening to Rocky the way he does it.
Yeah.
Go do it tonight. Just put on your headphones after we
Sorry,
leave
you're not
tonight.
sleeping.
That's what you're going to do tonight. And
Okay.
literally
I'll
the
report
first
back.
chapter, you will be hooked on that audiobook
Mm-hmm.
and you won't stop it. It's fantastic.
All right.
Kelly,
Yeah,
you said
Danny, I
it-
would
you
love
had a-
to hear if you've got good recommendations.
Okay. I'll reach out to you guys.
And
Don't
Kelly,
worry.
you
Okay.
said you had a dark romance recommendation. What is it?
Oh yeah.
I
What is it?
do. Have you heard of Souls in Ruin by Jacqueline White?
I have
No.
not.
Okay. It is newly released. It just released on like Halloween.
Ooh.
It is
Okay.
an indie published book. I interviewed her on the podcast because I literally read this book in 3 days.
Oh wow.
I could not stop thinking about it. It is dark. It is dark. It is romantasy. There are gods. It is not a real life world for sure.
It's dark
The themes are
fantasy, for
heavy.
sure.
It's dark fantasy. It is so beautifully written. Like there are chapters in the book that the full chapter is literally a
This one?
poem. It is written in yes. All like stunning. Check your trigger warnings, but one of my favorite books that I have read in the last few years. It is
Oh wow.
Report back
Last
because
few
it is
years,
beautiful.
Kelly. Wow.
In the last few
those
years.
are some big words.
Those are.
I have read some books. It was so beautifully written. It's up there.
Read some books.
I've read some books. There are some books I've read. This one is in the top, especially in terms of the writing.
Okay.
The writing is so stunning. So,
Okay.
let me know what you think.
I'm
Added
currently looking it
to
up. I'm adding it.
Kindle Unlimited.
We'll get
so
there.
Yes, I think Danny, you will love it, and then
Okay.
you tell Michelle if she'll like it.
Is it
Okay.
on KU?
Yeah, it is.
I think she released it on KU. Yeah, I will say though, Danny, if you read it and don't think Michelle will vibe with all the tropes, I would
Okay.
say after you read it, just there's a chapter and it's a poem called "Time Has Teeth." And if you just want a sense for how beautiful her writing is, just read that chapter because it really could be it is a standalone poem that she wrote actually in high school. And it's just so beautiful and so heartbreaking. And yeah, so if you just want to see how beautiful the writing is, just read that chapter.
Okay.
And like with dark romance for me, it's just if like there are a lot of things that I can handle, but if the entire book for the most part, the consent is either blurred or not there, that's when it gets really sticky for me. And I don't.
It is definitely dubious consent in
Okay.
this book. So
Okay.
yeah.
Ooh,
Definitely
dubious consent.
Dubious.
What a
I like
That is the
Dubious.
term.
that's
That is it.
interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Consent,
So,
non-consent, or dubious consent.
dubious consent. So
Okay.
yeah. But loved it.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry,
All right.
I'll stop asking you guys questions.
No,
No,
you're
you're
fine.
good. I was gonna
Let-
ask Lindsay if she's read A.G. Riddle. any of his stuff? He's on Kindle Unlimited.
G Riddle.
He's
Hold on, I
not
have
strictly
to-
romance, I will say that. But there's a romance subplot to his books, usually.
It looks like he's written a lot. Where
He has written a lot.
What's your favorite?
He's written a lot of series. I've read all of them. I've literally read everything he's written. But I would start with probably his like very first one, The Atlantis Gene. That series was incredible. I loved that series. And
Done.
start with that if you like sci-fi. It's
Okay.
It's definitely not strong romance. I will preface by saying you're going to be like, where's the romance?
That's fine.
It's not for that. Just
Yeah.
give it a chance. It's
That's
in
fine.
there, but it's definitely not at the forefront. But the whole series, The Atlantis Gene, anyone who's read it, it's a 3-book series. It's on Kindle Unlimited. A.G. Riddle, check it out. I'm surprised it's not
Done.
huge and blowing up, and I'm surprised there's not a movie about it, but here we are. And
There
that's
you
the
go.
weird thing too,
You and
isn't
me,
it?
girl.
Like,
clip that.
Let's do it. Let's push it.
I was
Let's
gonna
go.
say, make that a clip and put that out there and make it happen.
I just
You could do
wonder.
it.
Well, and it's been out for a while, but I just don't. I wonder why like certain things blow up and certain things just don't. Is it marketing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder in the world, and I wonder too now that there's so many podcasts out there and there's so many other. And that's what I get to is like we have a choice. We have a choice to make as a part of media to decide what we want to support and put out there and what we want to cover. And yeah, of course, like for people to know who we are, we have to cover something other people have read. So you have to be like, it's choosy. You have to really pick and choose what you're going to go after, because if you choose something nobody knows, that's a risk. It's a huge risk. It's a huge blow to your ratings. It's a huge blow to what people, if they're going to even watch it, because they don't have no idea what it is. But I think that's one of the beauty of like eventually blowing up the show at a certain point for both of us. I think or for both of our shows is that like I would love to get to a point where Michelle and I can really pick anything we want because other people will read it with us, you know,
Right.
like ahead of time.
They trust
that would
your
be like
your recommendations.
they'll trust
and,
that
yeah.
we want to cover it and why. And if they haven't read it yet, they're going to read it with us, or they're going to read it a month. We announce it to where there's enough time that they could read it before we start to cover it. That's like that's the dream for me, is to be able to lift even more folks up, more authors up that we could, because our reach has gotten to a point where it makes sense to do so. But
Yeah.
on that note, I think Michelle has a question for you. I'll let her jump to that.
So tell us about Child Shivay and your experience of covering it.
God tier.
Lindsay, I feel like you should start. I don't know. It's over there.
Tier book. The best book I've
Well,
ever read.
Actually, so
God
should we
tier.
start with how we met her? Because I feel like that was like, I started that, and then with reading it first, and then Lindsay, you want to talk
Yes.
about like covering it?
Sure.
The whole meet cute. So that, like you all, we get a lot of DMs and requests to read books, and it is, like you said, so humbling, and it's such an honor, and we can only read so many books, even if we're not just trying to figure out what to cover, right? Just like to read and enjoy. And we had signed up to be ARCs for some people, and there it is, and have read a few ARCs, and like nothing that we really loved. And then the author reached out to us and, you know, wanted us to be ARC readers, and sent us the book. We were like, oh, thank you so much. Like, well, you know, we'll let you know. We were honest, like we don't know about timing, but if we can get to it, like we will absolutely let you know. And she was so great, and she engaged with all of our posts, and she was like DMing us about stuff, like just like friendly bookish stuff. And I liked her so much that I said to the girls, I was like, I'm afraid to start her book because I like her so much as a person that what if I hate her book because we had just read a bunch of books that like we just didn't love?
Yeah.
And then I have to tell her, because we're going to give honest feedback. Like, we're not going to be jerks about it, but we're going to,
course,
like, if you
yeah.
ask and you want the feedback, we'll say, hey, I didn't love this, or whatever. And I finally was like, you know what? F it. I'm just going to read it. And when I tell you, I absolutely fell in love, and I kept texting the girls. I was like, guys, wait a minute, guys, I'm obsessed with this book. Wait,
Yeah,
should I be
it was
obsessed
so
with this
great.
book? Like, I was in love. And I was like, I think this broke my rating scale, but I need you guys to tell me, like, you should read it though, like, because like maybe I'm crazy. Like, am I crazy?
And I
then
just
Catherine-
said bucket, and I did it.
She did it, and she read it, and she was like 60% through, and she
After one
texted
day,
us,
one
and she
like
was like,
one night.
Kelly, I know you're at work right now, but I need to know when you're at your phone because I need to tell you something. And I'm like at a work event, and I'm like, all right, hold on, like let me like run away, thinking like something happened. And she was like, I'm obsessed. And so I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. And so then Lindsay started reading it, and it actually was a 4-star for Lindsay at first. And then Lindsay, I'll let you take over because we just fell in love and we became literally best friends with the author. J.R. Cathers is, I can truly say, like, she is a good friend at this point, and
We
it's
text
been like
her
an
just
honor.
as much as we text each other.
Sometimes more.
honestly.
Sometimes more.
We're
It's
constantly
scary.
texting
It's sad.
her. She's so
Yeah.
fantastic.
But anyway,
Yeah,
so
I
Lindsay, I'll let you
send-
tell that.
Yeah, so it was actually initially for me a 4-star read, only because I am a inquisitive as fuck person. Like, I want to know all the info. I'm asking all the questions. You bring
little
something up to me.
scribe.
Like, I'm the kind of person I see a smidgen of information in a movie and I'm like on my phone looking it up because I want to know all about that. And the main character is not inquisitive. And so I initially like had a hard time with that. And Jess, the author, JR, was like, I want to know. She's like, I want your honest review. She's like, I will not answer your text messages to me until you put your honest 4-star review out there, because I think that's important. She's like, I'm not the author that's just seeking 5-star reviews. She's like, put your 4-star review out there, let it be known, and then like, let's talk. Well, we decided to cover it on the podcast, and she said in an interview once, she was like, I wrote this book so that the puzzle pieces are all there and it reads very differently on a second read. So we decided to cover it on the podcast. I've now read it 3, maybe 4 times, depending on reading as you're outlining.
Yeah.
You guys know how that is. And it has jumped to a 5-star / infinity star read for me because all of the puzzle pieces are there. You just have to know where to look. You've got to figure it out. And it is genius writing.
Yeah.
Like,
And
to the
beautifully
point that
written.
Gorgeous writing.
beautifully written. But to me, as someone who, I have an English degree, I was taught to dissect books. And this book was so well dissected that there were things that I didn't even pick up on my first read. So,
And you
Yeah.
will read it 3 times later, and it will take a 3rd read, and you are like,
oh yeah.
pronoun antecedent, is that what she meant? And
Yeah.
Jess will text us. She's like, I
Yeah.
wrote what I wrote.
Yeah.
Read it.
Yeah.
We're just like,
We try to text Jess to ask her things, and she just texts us back, and she either says interesting or she sends us eyeball emojis.
Yeah.
Like, she
Yes.
won't answer things. Like, I have sent this poor author long-winded audio recordings,
notes,
like
yeah.
while I'm out on a walk or at the gym or like vacuuming my house, just blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah about her book, and she'll send me a message back and she's like, interesting. I'm like,
And I will say, I think that's what makes covering this book so much fun. Like, because you asked about our
Yeah.
experience, and like, we have covered only one other book where we had a relationship and like did some back and forth with the author, which was Direbound, which was a lot of fun, but not to this level. Like, Jess is, when I say we text her every day, multiple times a day, and she is sending us like, it is so cool of an experience, I think, to cover a book like this that we love so much and be able to talk to the author so much and like have her be excited to like send us chapters. And so I think that piece of it for us sometimes feels like a pinch me moment. And the people who have read her book, her ARC readers are feral too. She has,
but to be clear, she doesn't tell us shit.
She does
Like,
not
I
tell
wanna
us
make that
anything.
known.
We know
don't know
nothing.
any more than any. We
But-
ask her things, and she just doesn't answer.
But it's
She'll
still fun
send
as shit.
literally like a smiley face emoji, and we're like, "But what does
that mean? Yeah. It is
So
so
don't
cool.
think that we have like
we
the
know nothing.
answers.
Yeah.
She won't. She's like, huh.
Yeah.
No, we know stuff because of our brains.
Yeah.
We're smart.
She'll only tell us stuff after the fact if we figured something out. But even then, like there are some things that we're like, we know this is true. And she's like, yes, you gotta wait for book 2. And we're like,
Thank you.
I both love and hate when authors do that because I want to know all the answers, but
Right.
also they want to make sure that you experience the book as it should be and like protect
Yes.
that.
We
So
may
it's
or
like
may
I
not.
understand that, but
Yeah.
also I want the fucking answers. Give me the answers.
I know.
We may or may
Right.
not have
'Cause at
had
the end of the day,
intimate
we're all-
experience with that
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Because I mean,
I bet.
we're still just readers, right? Like I'm still
yeah.
a reader at heart. Like, yes, I have a podcast, but I'm still a reader. Like I want to be able to experience it and figure it out. So sometimes having the author available to you like that is almost harder
That's
Oh, it's
because
probably worse.
you can ask
Yeah.
her questions and send
tell
her
you shit.
unhinged voice messages, and she responds and is like, "Huh."
Yeah. Or sometimes she'll respond and say, "Do you actually want to know?" And I will then say, "No, don't tell me,
no.
don't tell me." So we'll ask her, and then she knows us well enough to be like, "Do you want to know that?" And sometimes the answer is yes because we have a theory and we want to make sure. But like even then, she's like, "I'm not going to tell you that because it's actually like a big theory, and you figure it out for yourself." And so it's fun. But
It was so fun with this whole process because we read that book so long ago before
Yeah.
it came out that by the time it came out, it wasn't like an author releasing a book for us. It was literally like one of our closest friends happens to be an author and she's releasing a book, and we're so excited for her and want everything to blow up for her because she
Yeah.
absolutely deserves it, and she's our friend now, and it's been the most, that is probably one
God.
of the best experiences of this whole thing. It's
Yeah.
just
Thank God we loved it. I was so afraid, guys. When I tell you, I was like, I don't want to read it because what if it sucks? Like, what if not?
didn't.
What if I hate
Changed
it?
our lives.
Changed our
completely.
whole life. Yeah, changed our whole life.
Okay.
Anyway,
We've now
So let me
Now
convinced
we just
ask
need
you
her to
guys-
move to the neighborhood so that she can also be unhinged within
Yeah.
walking
run around the
distance
neighborhood
from
with us. Yeah.
The house next door to Catherine is for sale, and we were like, we sent her the listing. We're like, Jess,
We did it.
just in case you want to.
She was like, thanks.
So I have a question for you guys. We're all readers here, right? Have either of you ever thought about writing something?
Well, that's a good question.
Yes. Short answer.
Ooh.
Also,
So-
short answer, yes.
Love that. Not me, Lindsay. Not
For
Cash.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
all
awesome.
literary
Danny, do you-
majors have probably gone through I'm gonna write. And yeah,
That's a good
so in
point, yeah.
college, I have I have a couple of
Yeah,
drafts
Michelle
of
has like a
things.
legit book.
Well, no, it's not legit. I got 40,000 words in, and then I
That's
don't
fucking legit to me. Okay, 40,000
Agreed.
words.
like
Legit.
most fantasy
That is
novels are
legit.
like 200,000 words, so it's like barely.
That's not the point. Not the point.
Agree,
I'll read
Michelle.
it.
Brag on yourself a little bit.
I'll read
Come
it
on.
if you want.
Still
Don't worry,
not it.
I'll read it.
Listen, that was when I was an
Work
undergrad,
requirements.
and I'm 32 now. I haven't opened that file in a long time. So
There's some dust on it.
Yeah, a
but that's
little bit.
impressive. That's
a little
awesome.
bit. So we'll see.
That's awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah. Danny,
What about you?
Danny,
are you writing
care to
too, or was
elaborate?
your was your yes for
I
Michelle?
don't care to elaborate at this time.
Okay.
So we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right.
What about you?
I
guys?
Sneaky,
have been
sneaky.
building something for some time. There have been a lot of walks that I've been talking about it. It is very much in draft, very, very early draft mode. There will be no quick things that are happening over here. We're talking probably years from something occurring. But yes, the desire is there. I have yes, we'll leave it at that.
That's awesome.
What about
I
you
love
guys?
that.
Yeah, that's fun. Not me. I make the joke always that like I used to write like poetry, and I'm a good writer in
Oh.
terms of poetry, but I talk about books because I can't write them. And so
I
that
come
is
up
why I
with
have a podcast.
insane things in my
Theories.
brain.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't write them down. I have great conversations in my head. You guys
Yeah.
should see it. It's fantastic. But
Lindsay,
our writer
on
is
the other
Lindsay.
hand,
This girl
yeah.
knows how to write.
Lindsay is
Wow.
the writer.
That's awesome.
Have you published?
What do we got going
Or
on,
have
Lindsay?
Funny
you
enough,
trying to
no, I'm
publish?
still working on it, but I have an idea that I've actually had since middle school, which is a long time ago. And I've written several drafts of it in different genres and have never quite cracked the code on how I want to present it, and have kind of recently been more excited about figuring it out.
That's awesome.
So we'll see.
Yeah. So on your note, Lindsay, the genre that you're wanting to see more of is actually the genre that mine would fit in. And I've been it's funny that you brought it up because I have been it's a story I've come back to over and over again. And I'm like, it doesn't fit anywhere. Like there's nothing's blown up in that. And so I just have left it. It's just been sitting like back burner. The idea that I have for this, I've talked about it with my husband on walks like probably hundreds of times. Like I've gone down different paths of like how this would work. And like, I don't even think Michelle knows like the full depth of what I'm even talking about.
You've talked a little bit, but not a whole lot.
She's like, tell me more.
Well, the reason I mention it is because Lindsay was like, I wish there were more in this genre because they're really, what is there? It's like monster romance. And what I'm talking about is not that. It would be like a sci-fi romance type, but no monsters, real people with an element that has to do with, which by the way, there's nothing wrong with monster romance. I'm a huge fan. Anyone who listens to the show would know that. What I would want to write would be, I think, along the lines of what we were talking about before, Lindsay. And that was the only reason why I would share that. And I probably won't share it again. So there you go.
Ooh, we heard it here
So
first.
what you're saying is you need to do it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Screw the rating, screw all of that stuff. Write it for yourself. And that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, we like talking about what we like. And if you like it, put it on
put it out there.
And do it.
Also, Danny, I'm an excellent editor.
I was just going to say, I was like, we would read it. We'd be like, okay, we love this. We love that. Yeah.
Yeah, rip it to shreds. That's good. Yeah. On that note, let's talk about spice. Okay. How do we feel about it? How do you guys cover it in your show?
Amen.
What are some of our thoughts about it? There's like some new stuff going around too, some like bigger. I've seen a lot of like things about like, oh, there's too much spice now in the book talk space. And
no
like,
such thing.
Where are you guys on that? Yeah, where are you guys on
Amen.
that line of thought?
No,
I'd be curious.
We make Kelly read those parts because we get immense enjoyment because she always just delivers the lines perfectly.
With a New York accent.
Oh, yeah. So we make Kelly do all the lines. It's like,
can you give us a line? Give us a Quicksilver line. Can you pull? Give us one.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay had written into one of the chapters 8 pages of glorious fucking later. And it was literally
fantastic writing.
The 8 pages of fucking that they went through. And so they, and like nobody is ever going to fuck you the way I'm about to fuck you, Sarah Swain. Like those sentences.
Yeah.
But
introduce you to
all 7 gods.
Yes. Come on, the best sentence. No, we love spice, and I say that as I think spice that has a purpose to me
that part
is liberating for women.
Yes.
I think in a society that has not always allowed or seen it to be okay for women to enjoy this type of reading and this type of content. And to me, in all the books that we choose to read, the spice it's not just necessarily like just for fuck's sake, literally. It is, you are like making a conscious choice, or you're digging into trauma, which is also like a valid thing to dig into, I think, in a book. It's a valid topic. And I think it allows women specifically, because we like, that's why we read these books, is like, it is something that is meaningful. It is something that there is a joy and like you are okay as you are. And like, you don't need to feel like ashamed about your body and ashamed about like what might feel natural. And so spice to me is great, because why shouldn't we like celebrate like our bodies and celebrate that like sex can be a great thing, and also dig into, like I said, like the trauma about some things too. And like, if it's done in a good way, put it in the book, because it's part of life. And like, let's stop dancing around it. It is
Raise your hand
beautiful.
if spice improved your marriage.
I mean, I'm pregnant right
That's
now.
all 5
so-
hands.
All 5 of us.
Okay. There you go.
You're welcome,
To your point,
husbands
Kelly.
of the world.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. I also will stand on a soapbox though for a minute, because nothing bothers me more though, as much as I love spice in my books, when someone says, "Oh, you're just reading porn."
Ooh,
Mhm.
girl.
Fuck off with
Some
that.
fighting words. Those are some fighting words. Tell me you haven't read a book
Like-
like maybe ever when you say that.
Or watched
Like-
any movie made for
Or
men.
any movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Like, you're
Anything.
telling me that any movie that has a sex scene automatically makes it porn? No, it's life.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
sex is a
Like,
part
how do you think
of
you
life.
got here? Just saying.
Relationships. Exactly.
How
Yeah.
are you
Like,
breathing?
so when people say that, or like the big phrase is like, "Oh, you only read fairy porn," I'm like,
Get out of
Yes.
here.
There's
it
actually
drives
different
You have a
types.
boring life.
Thank you very
Absolutely
much.
insane.
Not
Right.
just
Yeah.
fairies.
They're not
Or
fairies.
vampire-
They're
or
fays.
vampire
Thank you
smut.
very
Or
much.
monster smut.
There are
No.
subgenres of fairy porn. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Come on.
Level.
But
And
like,
It's
If you're
diminishing.
gonna say it, get it right.
Yes.
For God's
Yes,
sake.
it is
Yeah.
absolutely
actually-
diminishing. Go ahead, Lindsay.
I saw a TikTok today about that a woman had made that whole thing, and she's like, "Oh, you just think I'm reading fairy porn?" And it is the audiobook clip of Elizabeth Evans reading Throne of Glass, which Throne of Glass is a god tier series for me. But
Yeah.
it's the scene in Crown of Midnight where they go to the symphony, and the symphony is playing all of the ballads of the lands that have been suppressed by Otterlin. And she's like, "Tell me that all I read is porn when you listen to this audio." And I literally started tearing up on TikTok earlier today, like listening to that audio and how heartbreaking that audio is. And for the record, like, Throne of Glass does not have spice to it. It's still an excellent, excellent god tier series. But yeah, it's normal, guys. It's part of life. It's part of the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about the flip side of J.R.R. Martin and what he has written, right? And Game of Thrones and all of that sex in there. And they
Yes.
didn't call his stuff just smut because a man
Yeah.
wrote it. Like, it's just completely ignoring everything else that is in the book and focusing on, like, think about like the amount of smut that is in a lot of these books. It can be what? 5%, maybe 10%, and everybody just wants to dismiss the entire rest of the book because there was smut. And it's like, give us a little bit more credit than
I
that.
think
Yeah,
too that
don't
the
tell me-
name, they're the word smut. I think taking ownership back over that word, I think, is really powerful. Just like the word bitch,
Yeah.
honestly,
Mhm.
or any word that's used in a
Yeah.
negative connotation,
Yeah.
because you know that they don't call the high fantasy or any book that a man writes smut. Very rarely. I actually
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
never seen that. It's always
No.
female
Yeah.
authors, and it's always their books. And why is that the case? Like, to your point, Lindsay,
Yeah.
the fact that someone has to make a TikTok about that, it tells you that there's a systemic problem with
Mhm.
this gender bias and this idea that there has to be, and honestly, if you want to write a 5-pepper, which for us, a 5-pepper is literally there's no plot, girl or guy, write your book.
Write
I
it.
don't
Why
care.
not?
Yeah, it's fine.
Write
with me.
it.
Right.
Someone
Care
read
less.
it.
Yeah,
Who
it's-
cares?
Yeah,
you
somebody's
know?
gonna read it.
Yep.
That's
I
fine.
might read it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Palate cleanse me. I mean, come on now.
Yes, excellent palate
cleanse you,
cleanser for
Kelly.
sure.
No, I I think it's such a good point too, and I love that you asked this question. I so agree with your stances on it because at the end of the day, I feel like it is the books that we read and the books that we cover specifically too. They're liberating the female characters in the book. They're fighting for what they believe is just. They're literally like fighting oppression and dealing with all of these heavy topics. And part of, in history, so much of women's liberation and is also connected to sex and the fact that women are sexual beings, and that is also okay. And so to me, if you're going to write a book that is epic fantasy and it is truly about liberating this female main character or this, like, you cannot have that without also including the sexual liberation as well, because it is all connected. And it's like it is showing you that your whole self as a woman deserves to be at that pedestal. And so you can't have one without the other.
And think about
also,
how many conversations
fuck off,
that we
let
have.
me live.
Yeah. But also think about how many good conversations people have had because they say, this is a red flag. This is toxic. This is gaslighting. This is not appropriate. And all these conversations that you wouldn't have if we didn't have so many examples of it to say, this is a healthy relationship. This is a healthy expression of sex.
Yeah.
Are you both consenting and enjoying this? More power to you. Have at it. And I think,
but also like,
all of us talking
if you
about
want
it is
to
helping
read the red
people with
flags,
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and if you want to read the red flags, you can
read them. Yeah, if
Not
you want to
do
see
them.
what a healthy
Yes.
or
That's why
unhealthy
we read
relationship
books.
is, yes, read the books. You will get
Yep.
so much more information, and you will probably have a lot of conversations with people like us of, is that wrong? Is that right? Or can I just be the way I want to be?
Is it
all
gray?
of these conversations, yes.
The movies exist.
But
Why
also,
can't the books
like,
exist?
listen to all of our podcasts. Like, yes, there is sex and spice in the books that we read, but is that what we're talking about? Yeah, we might be like 8 glorious pages of fucking later, sure. But in reality, what we're talking about is their relationship and how they're connecting and why they're connecting and how that leads them to the actions. And that is life, guys. Like, it's... Yes, the sex is great in a lot of these books, but that's not why we're reading them. We're reading them because sex means more than that. It means relationships. It means finding yourself. It means happiness. That's what we're talking about in our podcasts.
On that note, when we covered Caught Up, I actually thought when we covered both of those books that we would talk about sex a lot more than we actually did. I think we talked about sex in other books a lot more than we actually talked about it in Lights Out and Caught Up, because we were so focused on, yes, those books are very spicy, and the second one, Caught Up, is 4.5 plus, and that's fine, and we talked about that, but these two characters had so much depth. It was about freedom for them. It was about freedom and identity. It wasn't about, the sex was a part of that, but it wasn't in any way the whole story at all. And our focus of our content, and when we covered that, and that's it, is just like, your whole human self, we are biologically human. We're animals. Like, that's a fact of our reproduction. Like, it's a normal thing. And I think the society as a whole of getting away from even women being able to have a show to talk about it. Oh, you just have a podcast so you and your best friend can talk about smut. Like, as if that's that's
so what
like
if
an
we
insult.
were?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
Let
It's
me
actually
live.
really healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me this platform, everybody, to talk about these very healthy things.
Well,
That's
I
such
think
a
I
good
will
point, Danny.
continue. Thanks.
No matter what we're talking about, even if you're talking about something taboo or something like, spoken with in a negative connotation, there are plenty of other people thinking those conversations and they don't feel like they have the voice to say those sorts of things. So that's the whole point of having a podcast, is giving people a voice, or at least courage to talk about things that they want to. And the whole point of books too. So people can go fuck off.
You're not alone.
Honestly.
Yes, Michelle. Mic drop. Episode's over. That was perfect. I'm kidding.
Bugger off. I'm going to do what I want.
I love it.
Okay, so now we're going to lead into some more lighthearted, rapid fire questions. So I'm going to pop off some questions and you just first thing that comes to mind. Okay. So what
Cool.
are your go-to drink for coffee or cocktails?
Coffee, black.
Coffee for me is espresso.
Okay.
Yeah. Black espresso. Yeah.
Ice, brown sugar, oat milkshake, and espresso.
Good. My
Yeah,
husband just
Kelly.
said, "Do you want another drink?" He heard me say that and was like, "Do you want another drink?"
And I
Rains
love wine.
so well. I
wine
love
and
it.
Anything fruity. He's great. He's great. He's definitely an MMC.
Cocktail would be anything with bourbon. My husband and I absolutely love bourbon. And my husband is fantastic at making cocktails. He
Yes.
hosted these ladies and their husbands for a James Bond inspired cocktail night. And it was so
Yeah,
much
that's
fun.
awesome.
So any cocktail with that.
What about you guys?
I wasn't ready for it to come back to us, but I'm with you, Kelly, on the coffee. I love that drink. I also
Yes.
I like I'm a half sugar girly. Like whatever the drink is at the whatever the place is, if it's on their board of like for example, we did a Twilight night and the Barnes and Noble cafe had like all Twilight themed drinks, which was really cool. But any of those drinks were like insane amount of sugar and there's no way. So I have to do like a fourth of
Yeah.
whatever the sugar is and I'll enjoy it that way. It's just like way too much. And then for cocktail, we do a drink of the episode every episode, which is like the big kind of go-to of what we do. And I think it really adds a level of depth to the books because it makes you think of like, what did they eat and drink? And like, you know, all of that. And so it's fun. And I think honestly, I love wine. It's kind of my go-to automatic when I need something quick to drink. But when I go out, I like a drink called Aviation. It's actually my favorite go-to like beverage. And it's a classic cocktail. Not a lot of places can make it, but the places that can, that would be like my go-to cocktail drink.
I cannot drink either right now. But my usual go-to, well,
Sure.
actually, if I really
Why not,
need
Michelle? Do tell.
because I'm pregnant and I will be, by the time this episode airs, baby could or could not be here.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
that's so
Ooh.
exciting.
Yes. We're close.
That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
hand.
Oh,
Very, very
That's
close.
so great. Oh, I don't know why I feel so special. Like
Aw.
this has nothing to do with people. I'm like, oh my God. That's
You've
so
met
cool.
this in person. I feel like
Yeah.
it's different.
It's
like
sweet.
you
It
know,
is. I've seen
Yeah.
Baby
Yeah.
Bump. I have seen Baby Bump.
Yeah, baby
oh,
keeps
that's
bumping.
awesome.
Baby keeps bumping. But like if I really need
As
like
they do.
a caffeine pick me up, I'll have a chai just because it's not as heavy on the caffeine. And it's like right under the 100 milligrams that, you know, I can have technically. So that's only like
Yeah.
caffeine-ish type drink. But
Yeah.
when I could drink and when I am done with baby being in the belly, then I will definitely be having the fruitiest shit I can have
Yes. Yes. Same.
with the best vodka
Be that
You're
that I
gonna
can
be
have.
you're gonna be such a lightweight too.
Love
You're
it.
gonna be
Top
like
tier
that
vodka.
much.
Love
Okay.
it.
Next question. Favorite season?
Summer.
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 wow.
Now that we've entered
We're
the
all
cold.
summer girls. We
All
are all
summer.
pool. We are all pool children. I
Mhm.
live my entire life in a bikini at the
Yes.
pool during the
Yes.
summer.
Yes.
I do not do the cold well
No.
at all.
no.
And it's
If
about
it's
to
below
get
do
cold.
75, it's
Too.
cold.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
freezing.
Yeah.
I've grown to love the fall, but summer is
No.
top.
No,
No.
no fall.
We are not
I like
all
the
winter
fall.
bitches at all.
No spring.
That's not us.
I'm a summer girl.
Okay.
We love that.
I think I own at least 30 bikinis, if that
Oh,
He
tells
does.
you anything
Yeah.
about what my favorite season is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It is. They're great. She has a great display of
Mhm.
bikinis. She can
Yep.
run a store. Yeah.
Have your own little Etsy shop. You know, just recycle them. Fine.
Mhm.
Okay, so dogs or cats?
Both, but dogs.
Okay.
I'm a both. Sorry, I'm a both. I have
And we all
both.
lost our cats, and we're very sad.
All,
I'm
oh my
so
God,
sorry.
all of us
Lost
in the last year.
Kitty
Yeah.
cats.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
Yeah.
not meant
We
to be
are
for
Michelle. No, I'm kidding.
question.
Yeah. We are considering maybe surprising the kids with a new family pet for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
That'd be so sweet.
Yes. We had
You realize
we
if
had
they
a
watch
cat-
this, you're going to have to
They're not
deliver
gonna watch
on
it.
this.
they don't
Oh,
watch
They're
it.
not
I'm
allowed.
making. Oh, you think so? Auntie Catherine is going to make sure your kids watch this episode just so you have to get them a pet.
No, so
funny.
I will brag though. We had the best pet name ever. We lost our cat in March of this year, and Kelly actually went with me to put him down because
Oh,
my husband was
gosh.
out of town,
Yeah.
and I took Kelly with me. His name was Babasita Salsa,
Oh,
Yeah.
and my
Okay.
last
The
name
best.
is and my last name is Van Ramdunk. So his full name was Babasita Salsa Van Ramdunk. So there you go.
Fantastic name. Nobody has
yes.
that name.
no.
No.
So Bob had diabetes and hyperthyroidism, and so we are
Aw.
considering potentially getting a new pet for Christmas. So
Mhm.
All right.
Bob was in our
Mm.
first podcast episode, and that was really, really special for us. He
He
was
was
just
in our
hanging
first
out in the
episode.
background.
In our
Oh.
yeah, that's cute.
Little baby.
Okay. Next question. Favorite trope?
Slow burn.
Ooh.
One horse.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
All of them.
My girl, Kelly.
And
I think
Come on, Lindsay,
Did you pick one?
You
Lindsay?
can only
yeah,
pick
you,
one.
you can do one. Come
You
on.
Pick
can
one.
do it.
Rapid fire.
It's not
First
for the
one
rest of your
ever
life.
comes to your
Just
head.
give us one.
For now.
okay. When it comes to romantasy, I like
It's a
enemies to
rapid
lovers,
fire,
but when it
girl. Just give us the one.
No, I can't do that.
Bam.
But when it's
Yeah.
contemporary, I like friends to lovers in contemporary, but romantasy, enemies to lovers.
Okay.
okay.
As
all
in,
right,
bring
all right.
the knife.
Bring the
Okay.
knife.
You should read Lights Out, Lindsay. We'll leave that there.
Assassin.
Oh, okay. And last one is how much spice in your books on average? Do we like them extra spicy, medium spicy?
Do we
Real
not
life
care
spicy?
if the story's good? Okay.
I don't care if the story's good.
I don't care.
I don't
Okay.
care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll also read a spicy book.
That would be
just
my answer. I would
to do it.
question
Yeah.
dodge
Just
that.
don't care.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I don't
But
care.
just
Plot
Long as the
first,
story is
plot
bad
good.
Yeah.
spice.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
right.
just
yeah.
not like bad spice.
But that's
Yeah.
implied.
But
If
so
the
as
story
long
is
as-
good, the spice would
Yeah.
be good, in my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's a good
I'm
given.
good with any
Yeah.
level of spice. As long as the plot's there, give me all the spice. Give me one spice scene. I'm
Give me
in.
none sometimes. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Give me
I can have
none.
0
Give
and
me
I'll
none.
be
Yeah.
fine. As long as
I could have 0. Yeah.
burning, yearning, no open
Yes.
door
Yeah,
anything.
as long as
and
there's
that's fine.
romance. It doesn't have to be
Right.
spicy. As long as there's like connection. I
Kindred's
think.
curse.
Yeah.
Come on.
I want that.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. All right.
All right, last and final question. What are you currently reading?
Oh.
I am
So
reading a hockey
I-
romance.
Okay.
She's looking it up.
Do Catherine first, then do Lindsay.
Yeah, I'm reading a hockey romance called If You Claim Me by
Oh.
Helena Hunting.
I have
And I
never
have
read a
been
hockey
reading-
romance. Very true story.
I
Never
have
read
read
not one.
Oh,
40
Catherine loves them.
plus hockey
She's
romances.
your girl.
And we had an author on our podcast, Meg LaForge, and she and I
Yeah.
would literally just send us our
I know Meg.
Yes.
We know
back and
Meg.
forth
She's
on
read out to
Instagram.
us a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I've
We
never read
would
Yeah,
a
she's
send
so
Catherine
sweet.
book yet.
hockey like thirst traps back and forth to each other, and then she actually recommended a hockey book for me, Rewind It Back, that I also just read because I needed a palate cleanser, and fantastic. I've
Meg
loved
LaForge is
both
on
of those.
our TBR, actually. So I
Yes.
guess that'll be our first.
Yeah.
So
Choke
She's
and burn.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meg's husband is a hockey player.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Slash firefighter. So
Oh.
that's where she gets all of her
Mhm.
inspiration.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Lindsay, what are you reading?
So I am in the middle of The Bridge Kingdom right now by Danielle Jensen.
About this.
My husband and I love The Bridge Kingdom. I love Danielle Jensen. I started the series this summer. It's one that I think Kelly and I went to the bookstore like a year and a half
Yes.
ago, and I bought the first one, and I've been wanting to read them for a long time. And my husband and I went on a cruise this summer, and I read the first one literally in a day, and then the second one in like a day and a half on the cruise. And so I'm in the fourth one right now. There's 5 published. It's going to be 6. But when we're recording this, Brimstone is about to come out, and I just finished a book. And I literally texted the girls earlier and I was like, I don't know what to do about, like, I have a week and a half before Brimstone comes out.
We can read 3
Like,
books
do I
in that
read?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, do I read a palate cleanser? Do I try to dive into a romantasy? Like, what do I do? And so I'm reading the 4th Bridge Kingdom book right now, which, so there's going to be 6 total, but every 2, they
Duologies?
switch character.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're duologies. So they switch character POVs. So I'm reading
I like
4
it.
right now because that will end that character POV so that I can read Brimstone. We can cover Brimstone and then I can dive back in with like a new couple. So like same series, but like new couple covered. But they're really cool. And I think what I like about the Bridge Kingdom is that they are fantasies in the sense that they are not set in our world, but they are not fantasies in the sense that like there are dragons and fae and magical creatures or anything like that. Like, what makes them fantasy is that they're just not in our world. And so it's kind of like a refreshing
Interesting.
lack of magic
Mhm.
that is, but they're beautifully written.
Okay.
They're fantastic. I love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to give that a try. No, just add
Mhm.
more shit to our TBR. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you
our
go.
fault. We asked the question.
And
so-
that's
Yeah.
6 books. So
Yeah,
sorry
sorry.
about that.
okay.
I am reading 2 because I'm like you, Danny. I usually have 3 going, but right now I am reading the 2nd book in the Bloodwing Academy series, The Bond That
Oh,
Burns
okay.
by Briar Bolin.
First
'cause
one,
we
yeah.
act-
And the second, the
Yeah.
second one came out. Okay.
Yes, it actually re-releases on November 18th, same day as Brimstone. And we were asked to interview her on her book tour when she comes to Atlanta next
awesome.
week.
That's amazing.
So we're doing that in
Congrats.
prep, which we're
It's
so
amazing.
excited about.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I'm about halfway done with that run right now. And then don't be jealous, but I am actually reading the Throne of Glass series for the first time.
Oh, wow.
I have like,
Oh.
I know Lindsay is like, Kelly, you need to do this and you do it slowly. So I am currently 75% into Air Fire. So I am
Wow. Awesome.
experiencing it
Okay.
at the ripe old age of 37 for the first time. And it's glorious.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you
Well,
guys?
Oh, I am reading. God, what else? What am I not reading? I'm reading 4 things right now. That's the problem. And then we
Yes.
just did a book event and I bought another book because naturally we need more.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, you can't
Of
just
course.
like actually whittle down a TBR. You
No.
just have to add to it constantly.
Never
That's the
gonna
rules.
happen.
Yeah.
I'm actually I am actually about to go on a cruise. And so one of the last things I need to do before I leave is I'm having this weird issue with my Kindle. And anyway, I need to download them before I get on because I don't know if the Wi-Fi is going to be hokey on the boat. So I just want to have everything already stacked.
Yeah.
So I just finished Enchantra night before last. So I have 4 going. I have Mistborn going, which I'm into. Mistborn's really heavy, actually. So I'm kind of bouncing
Yeah.
around with that
Yeah.
one. And I have to really be in the right frame of mind to read it, which I wasn't expecting. I
Mhm.
thought it wasn't going to be as heavy as it is. And it's very heavy, which
Yep.
is fine. I just need to be like in the right headspace. But naturally, I'm reading another dark romance, which is incredibly dark. And the Lord series, I'm in the 3rd book of the Lord series.
You are the second person to mention
That
you're reading
is
that
a
one right
very, 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 very trigger heavy book. It is not for Michelle. It is very trigger heavy. So check your triggers
Okay.
before you go into it for any of them. I'm on the 3rd one. Again, need to be in the right headspace before you start reading
Right.
that. So the one I'm right now, there's space for 2 is what I'm saying. Because I finished the 3rd.
Mhm.
Then there's space for 2. I'm in the phase of like, what 2 do I want to add right now? And talking to you all, I feel like I've now added some already. So I think I'm going to add
Yeah.
Child of Shivay on there. And then I'm probably going to read
Yes.
the other one that you mentioned, Lindsay, and see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, Bridge Kingdom. Great choices.
And then Kelly, you gave us a dark romance too. But right now I need to add in another one. But I also have a few that are on the list that I may or may not be able to name right now that I need to read. So we'll get through those, which may or may not be spoilers for future Book Club After Dark episodes.
Ooh,
there's some-
fun.
Yes, we have a couple thrillers, a couple other things that I need to get through. So Michelle may or may not name some of the ones that are on deck. Michelle, don't name the ones that are on deck. And tell us what you're reading. Okay, good.
I am in the second book after Anathema by Carrie Lake. So I think it's called Nightshade.
Oh,
you
yeah.
are?
Yeah.
I just am
yeah.
learning this live. Anathema was, I was like, Michelle, you need to read Anathema. Michelle, you need to
Well,
read
I had a
Anathema.
friend, and I had a
Like
friend
Carrie
last
Lake.
year
Well,
recommend
have you guys
it
read Carrie
too.
Lake yet?
She's so good.
Lindsay has, yeah.
So good.
I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it.
Really good. There's a lot. I hate spiders, and
Yes.
unfortunately that book has fucking spiders.
lot.
On.
Like a lot of them.
Like
Yeah.
Ron.
Yeah, I'm basically Ron.
Yeah, she's
the
like
entire
Ron.
time.
Yep. Mhm.
Why did that have to be?
That's why I like you
spiders?
so much, because he's my favorite.
And then, so I always read multiple books. Well, not always. I've now started reading multiple books, but I'll read like a thriller also. So the thriller I am listening to is A Flicker in the Dark, which is kind of older. It came out in 2021, but I just need to keep that constant palate cleansing going. And then
Yeah.
I'm in book 4 of Guild. So I'm making my way through that whole series. So
You have
That
a
is
journey
it's
in front
God
of you.
tier. Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of my God tiers. I absolutely love that series. Oh my God.
Yep. I actually I cosplayed as her
Oh, did
Oh,
you?
yeah.
for
Oh,
at
really?
BookCon, and this was
Awesome.
my crown. Yep.
You had the ribbons?
She was gold for like
Tucked.
a week.
I bet.
She had
I
the
was gold
ribbons.
for a
like
week.
that.
I was
Yeah.
like cleaning out my ears because I painted myself gold, and I was like cleaning out my ears, finding like gold on my Q-tips for at least 4 days.
Yeah.
Nice.
amazing.
True.
The commitment right there.
It was awesome though.
It
it
was
was
so
so
great.
fun.
It was so great. We'll send pictures. We got some good pictures. of her.
Is
She's
there
cute.
anything going on your show you want to tell us about? Anything anyone might be interested in knowing that's up and coming for you all? Last question.
Yeah, so as of today, we will actually be finishing our coverage of Child of Shivay. The last episode for now airs tomorrow, basically. So that is exciting. We'll also start our Brimstone coverage. Can't wait to be DMing with you all about
Yes.
Oh,
theories
yeah.
and such.
Yes.
And we have some fun, exciting things coming in the new year. And so stay tuned for those. Lindsay and Catherine, anything else that I forgot to mention? Yeah.
I feel
That
like
brings us to the end of the
Brimstone-
year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
that's it.
I feel like Brimstone is gonna overpower everyone's life in the
Yeah,
best
for a few
possible
months.
way for the next few months. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
Yep.
best way
So,
possible.
Agreed.
But yes.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be on that boat with
Yes.
y'all. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a fun boat to be on.
Mhm.
Welcome.
Oh,
Join
oh,
us.
yeah.
Let's
We're
go.
excited.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh, yeah.
cruise. The most stressful cruise probably that we'll ever be on,
Yes.
based on all the little things that Callie's dropping.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll be a fun cruise.
Mhm.
I'm excited.
Can I?
Thank you so much, Banter and Bookmarks, for joining us tonight, ladies. Lindsay, Catherine, and Kelly. It has been such a joy to have you
So much
on
fun.
Book Club After Dark tonight. It was really fun. We had such like a natural flowing conversation, and we just like
Yep.
had a great time. And it was really nice that we've actually already met in person too. You guys probably listening wouldn't believe that we've only met one time, and it was literally for like 15 minutes. But I felt like the flow of our
Yes.
conversation has just gone really, really well. And yeah, we would love to have you back if you'd ever want to join us again. It was a great time.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Girls
We had
night,
so much
Girls
fun.
talking about books.
night.
Thank you.
That's all for tonight. Sleep tight, night owls. Until next time, happy reading.